Old things aren't always just covered in dust. Sometimes they carry forgotten curses. They say images don't lie, but what if they pull you in? Are you ready? Or is it already too late? Daniel picks up a dusty 1970s television from a secondhand shop. The seller shrugs. No remote, and it doesn't work anyway. Just a decoration. Daniel, charmed by its vintage look, takes it home for display. When he plugs it in out of curiosity, the screen flickers with static, buzzing faintly, but no channels come through. Just as he's about to unplug it, the screen goes dark, and a figure appears, a black and white silhouette of a woman, her face blurry, her eyes hollow voice. "Can you hear me, Daniel?" Daniel freezes. How does she know his name? He checks the cord. Everything's fine. The woman tilts her head slightly and whispers, "Want to play a game with me?" Terrified, Daniel yanks the plug. The screen dims for a moment, then flickers back on. She's still there, staring closer now. Daniel can't shut it off. The woman keeps talking. "I see everything, Daniel. You, your family, your life, even your end." The screen trembles, and an image emerges. Daniel as a child, playing with his mom in their old house. But something's off. Little Daniel suddenly looks up, straight at the screen, and whispers to adult Daniel, "Do you remember this?" They were always watching. His heart pounds. He recalls his mom joking, "We're being watched," that day. But maybe it wasn't a joke. The woman cuts in. "Unplugging it won't help. I'm already here." Daniel decides to haul the TV out of the room, but that night, something stops him. She seems to reach toward him through the screen. The next day, Daniel comes home from work to find the TV on again. He's sure he unplugged it and locked it in a closet that morning. But there it is, back in the living room. The screen shows his house, the rooms, the furniture, even him sleeping. As the footage rewinds, a shadow appears beside his bed. It's her, the woman, but not on the screen. This time, she feels real. Her pitch black eyes locked on him. In a panic, Daniel throws a blanket over the TV and weighs it down with a chair. When he returns to the living room, the blanket's on the floor. The chair toppled. She's closer to the screen now, and for the first time, she's not smiling. "You can't run," she says, her voice echoing from every corner of the room. Daniel can't sleep. At exactly 3 a.m., the house's power cuts out, but the TV turns itself on. The screen is pitch black, nothing visible. Then a voice breaks the silence, his own. "Can you hear me?" Daniel jolts. He never recorded that. The screen flickers and his face appears, but it's not him right now. This Daniel smiles and whispers, "You're stuck out there. I'm in here." A black hand reaches out from the screen, pressing against the glass as if testing it. Daniel screams and runs for the door, but when he glances back, the screen's become a mirror. He's not in it, just her, waving at him. A week passes with no word from Daniel. When police and friends enter his home, the door's locked and no one's inside, but the TV's on. Daniel's silhouette appears on the screen, staring blankly. One officer mutters, "Isn't this the missing guy?" As he speaks, Screen Daniel turns his head and looks right at him. The TV soon ends up in another secondhand shop. Its new owner, before even plugging it in, notices something on the screen. Their own face, smiling back at them. Every screen is a doorway. Some open wide, others swallow you whole. Daniel didn't vanish. He became part of another shadow. What was that thing inside the TV? Share your thoughts in the comments, for answers often hide in silence. Perhaps one day that screen will flicker for you. Some places hold more than silence. They cradle curses too old to name. They say the dead don't speak, but what if they hunger? Tonight, we step into a morgue where the lifeless stir and the shadows watch. Dare to listen? Or has the darkness already found you? Henry, a morgue attendant, is on the night shift, alone. After years on the job, corpses are just cold, silent shells to him, until tonight. One of the refrigeration drawers in the morgue slides open, though no one has entered. Henry peers inside. A woman wrapped in a white shroud lies there, her face adorned with an unsettling smile. He shudders, but pushes the body back and shuts the drawer. As he walks away, a whisper freezes his blood. Henry. He turns slowly. The shroud is open, and the body is gone. From the shadows, a white hand emerges. The woman rises, dead yet moving, her eyes pitch black, her skin decayed, but that smile still intact. Henry screams and tries to run, but she appears before him instantly. "This body is mine," she says, grabbing his head and ripping it off in one swift motion. Blood splatters everywhere. Holding Henry's head, she collapses to the floor, lying still as if nothing happened, except Henry's eyes are missing. She's eaten them. Morning comes, and police find Henry's eyeless head and blood-soaked body. No one has entered or left the morgue. The doors are locked, the security cameras blank. The bodies remain untouched. No one can explain the carnage, so they're left in place. Maybe an animal? They speculate, but there's no evidence of one. A fairy isn't even a fleeting thought. It's just a bizarre murder to them. The woman's body, presumed to be Henry's killer, rests silently in her drawer. The police suspect another worker, but there's no proof. The morgue stays open, the mystery unsolved. A week later, desperate for answers, authorities install security cameras throughout the morgue. At 3 a.m., the first night, the same drawer slides open. The woman's corpse rises, moves to the other drawers, and one by one, plucks out the eyes of the other bodies, eating them. She emits strange, guttural noises before returning to her drawer, lying still again. The next morning, the team watches the footage in disbelief. The corpse ate the eyes and went back to sleep. It's undeniable. She moved. Armed police storm the refrigeration room. Franklin, one of the officers, approaches her drawer. Her eyes snap open, locking onto him as she whispers, "I'll eat your eyes." In a flash, she sits up, tears her own head off with her hands, and collapses. Her headless body still grins. The officers freeze, too stunned to shoot. Reviewing the footage, they spot a shadow in the background during her movements. Not human, but a blurry, misty silhouette. They dismiss it as a trick of the light, but the recordings are clear. The woman's body remains in her drawer, yet the eye-eating and head-tearing defy explanation. 3 weeks later, Franklin's home is raided. His head is found severed, eyes devoured. His wife, children, and even their dog share the same fate. Heads torn off, eyes gone. No signs of a break-in or suspect, just Franklin's eyeless head, frozen in that eerie smile. The authorities hush up the incidents. The morgue becomes a place no one dares work, but the cameras stay on. Sometimes at night, they catch a figure moving in the mist, watching, waiting, hunting for a new body. One of the tape reviewers claims, "That shadow, its eyes glowed, but he vanishes the next day. The woman's corpse still lies in her drawer, or so they think." The morgue grows quiet, but its hunger festers in the shadows. A body waits, a shadow hunts, craving more. In Joseph City, the paranormal never ends. If you've got the guts for videos like this, subscribe, hit that like button, and share your thoughts in the comments. The darkness is watching. What will you do?